What is up, guys? And in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Porsche Cayman GT4 Wasp edition, which is a returning vehicle. Pretty crazy that this car was in the Summit again. Maybe we'll see future cars like the Performante and stuff coming back, maybe more Bugattis, maybe some of the other street cars like the Mitsubishi Evos, stuff like that. Who really knows? But seeing this car as a returning Summit vehicle is pretty awesome. So obviously the Cayman GT4 Wasp edition is pretty dope looking. It's actually one of my favorite looking cars in the game, so let's go see if there's any customization. So as y'all can see here, I am now in the customization menu, and you cannot change the color on the car or the visual parts here. Not really shocking, to be honest, because there's so much detail in the car already, but you can change the liveries if you would like. If you're wondering, it looks like the car has a ton of customization already on it, like the wing, like the carbon fiber. They did just a fantastic job with this car. I love how it looks, and the Porsche Cayman GT4 in real life is just beautiful. So it's awesome to see this car in the game, and even the interior detail there is pretty amazing there. Great job, Ubisoft, on that, and I'm really happy to see this car returning. Like I said, we might be able to see other cars returning in the future. If you're wondering, you can also put vanities on this. You can tires, smokes, nitros, underglows, and so on if you guys do have them. You don't have to add any of the things to the vehicle if you do not want to, though. Besides that, let's go take a look at how this thing drives, and not only that, let's go see how it races with a top speed run. Alright, so now that we're at the soft flats, let's take a look at this car even closer here. So arriving outside, as y'all can see, this thing is just is amazing, honestly. I love this car. So let's listen to the engine a little bit. So as y'all can see, it also sounds incredibly well. Let's go take a look at the interior right now with it. I feel like Ubisoft did such an incredible job with this car, just the detail of it. Now, let's go drive and see how it does. So acceleration-wise, the car is pretty fast there. I'm kind of impressed with that. Definitely in the street class, this car could definitely be used competitively on stuff. It has great handling, it's fast, and it's honestly really great overall. And I feel like this car could definitely be used. The only thing it has a drawback to, I noticed, is its top speed isn't the greatest. I did notice that when I tested a long time ago. So as you guys see right now on the salt flats, it's doing 239 miles an hour, 240-ish there. If you keep pushing it, you'll go through your nitrous there, 242. Which is pretty good, but it could be a little slower compared to some of the other street cars. Can do about 250 or so. So if you're on a long race, the other cars could pull away unless you're slipstreaming them, and even then, they probably still will pull away there. So let's go test it on the road now. I feel like testing the car on the street is a really good thing to do because sometimes on salt flats compared to the road, the speed of the car could be a little different. And it also seems like whatever road you guys may be on, the car might be a little slower or faster depending on where you're on there. So do keep that in mind. Depending on the road you're on, the car might struggle more or be faster, which is interesting, but I kind of guess it makes sense. So anyway, moving on to it with the car on the road here, how is it? Well, this car's got insanely great stability, which is one of the things I loved about it before. It just handled so well in just 8 corners, like no issues, and just felt really good at speed. So in Nitro Chemist right now, I am already doing pretty much the top speed of the car there, which is 242. If you manage to get a 243 going down a hill and stuff like that, which is pretty impressive for a street car. I wouldn't say this thing is slow, but some other street cars could do around 250. 255-ish on some of them. So those will pull away, obviously, in some races, and depending on what race you're doing, those cars could fall a little short. This car beats those in handling, honestly, which could help tremendously depending on the race you're doing. If the race has a lot of turns, but you can't really get high speed, this car could definitely be used for summits and stuff like that in the future. Really looking forward to seeing how this thing does. I might have to try it out on future summits and see how it does in races and stuff like that. But let's go take this thing in the sleeper and see how it does on a race like that with a lot of turns. Alright, so jumping into the sleeper here, let's test out the Porsche GT4 here. So right off the bat, you guys will notice, well, it does accelerate very, very well. The turning on this car just blows my mind how stable it is and all that. Like, that was one of my favorite things about it, like I said before. Overall, the speed's pretty good. If you guys are running Chemist on this car, it'll probably do very, very well on straightaways. It just accelerates so quickly. It grips so well. Like, this car really is amazing, and I'm really glad they brought it back. I know there's a lot of other Summit cars that people do want to see again. I'm glad they did bring this one back, though, because this is one of my favorite cars I've ever added, just because of the looks and overall, like, handling and all that. This car is really, really good. I know it might lack in some places compared to the Leggera, because I know that is the #1 car for me in the street class, which I'm sure a lot of people agree with, and that could be one thing that make people, want to test the cars out a little bit to see how this thing goes against it. Let me know if you want me to do that in the comments below. I could do, like, a top speed run of each car, do races with them and see which one might actually be better. But the Leggera is definitely on top normally in most of the things there, just because how fast it is. It handles very, very well, and it can hold speed. This car definitely can hold speed as well, but the issue with it is that the reason why I don't really test these cars too often is mainly because it's a summit vehicle, and, well, not everybody got this car, unfortunately, so I don't really like to test it versus the other vehicles, because it could actually be better than a lot of the street cars, but a lot of people won't be able to get their hands on it now. Chances are we will not see this car return to Summit again. It might, but probably not, because it's already in there a second time. But regardless, it's definitely awesome to see. Let's go take a look at the interior right now when we're driving it. They just did such a great job with this car. Like, I'm just, in my, it's very crazy how good the handling on this car is. Like, the reason why I keep saying that, y'all, is because, like, legit, it shocks me how stable this car is compared to some of the other street cars. Literally can't even hold a straight line sometimes. If you touch the steering on them, they'll just lose themselves. Even with a good build, they just don't drive well. And, well, this car's not one of those, as I run into a wall. So let's hit a nitro chemist here real fast. So you go through a lot of nitrous, obviously, when you're trying to accelerate. So try to, accelerate when you're higher in your RPMs there, which will help. Downshifting does help a bit there too, which I'll be posting a video in the future for a manual video to help you guys out there with that. Overall, guys, I did a quick little video here with this vehicle. Returning car, so this car isn't new, obviously, but one car that everybody seemed to want, and I feel like the other cars will make a return. The Mitsubishi and those will probably come back. Maybe the Bugatti. Maybe the RX-8, who knows? But thank you guys so much for watching. Anyway, here are the settings I'm running on my Porsche GT4. If you guys got this car, definitely check this thing out because this thing is awesome. I know some people might be collecting, but this car is definitely well worth a look. And here are my settings on the Porsche Cayman GT4 Wasp Edition.